Hello my lovelies, welcome to the Goddess Enchantments channel. My name is Claire and today we're going to do a walkthrough and review of the Wild Wisdom Companion, illustrated by the wonderful Kate O'Hara. Maia wrote the book, and this of course has 28 oracle cards in. So if you are already aware of these two wonderful people and the book and card series, maybe you've seen my other review video on that. If not, you may want to have a look, especially if you love this. You're gonna be expecting I think some pretty awesomeness from this if you do know. It's such rich imagery right from the front cover. This is a hardback book. So let's take a look in here. Make sure we've got you in the camera. There we go. So starting off immediately with that rich imagery that I was talking about, you're going to have wonderful colour in here throughout. So we get to our contents page, and this is set up a little bit different to most contents pages because this book is broken down season by season to the smallest changes. You have got the sections by that. So we have got early autumn and late autumn, for example, and then it'll give you the page number that's going to start at. If you look, it gives you northern hemisphere dates for winter solstice and southern hemisphere for the winter solstice. So November for the northern and May for the southern. So that's really going to suit you wherever you are. I haven't seen many books and even sometimes like diaries, moon diaries and things that actually take that into account. So it's nice to see from the get-go. You then have the basic breakdown of the element, the energy center, the plant medicine, the animal medicine, the crystal medicine, the seasonal symbols, and there is 3 of those for each section, and each of those has dedicated pages within the book. So it's a reasonable section for each part. So let's move along. A little preface about obviously the book, the authors, all of that wonderful stuff. Your introduction where they talk about the breakdown that they've done here. So late autumn, winter solstice. There's actual information with the proper dates inside the book if you were newer to your path, for example. It's not going to help you just having the month. A little bit about basic practice, and you go straight into exercises, rituals, and things that you can do, tools that you can work with to enhance your spiritual practice. So the first one is inviting your fear to tea and making your fear a welcome guest, and really talking about that. What is that fear trying to tell you? Creating a symbol dictionary for yourself. So when it comes to this book, I was concerned when I first saw it was coming out. Would this be just a little bit too beginner and too basic for someone like myself who's been on my path for 25 years? You've read all the things about the Sabbats. You've obviously celebrated many Sabbats at this point. I'm sure there's lots of you watching that are in the same boat. And then books come out and they can be disappointing for you if you're not new to your path. This has a lot of information from the get-go, talking about different types of subjects, allowing you to go deeper with your thoughts. So there is a lot here, even if you are quite practiced in your spiritual journey. And yet again, if you are new, you still have all the foundation here, the basics that you're going to need, such as keeping an altar and creating a sacred space, how to set that up, along with beautiful imagery. So you'll find these practices all the way through. This one, working with earth. Then you will have a look at the cards which are included, which we will approach in a little bit. And then we begin the actual almanac, which was referred to in the contents. So all of that first part was not on the contents page in any big way. It's kind of to the left, but now's where kind of all what we've discussed starts. So a repeat of what you saw in the contents page. Then you've got some beautiful words opening up the section, and each section, as I mentioned, has an element. So here you've got all your information on the element of water. There's exercises in here as well. Then as you go on, there will be a seasonal practice. So in this case, we're in late autumn, so we're communing with those who have passed, because obviously we're in the season of Samhain, if you did not know. The chakra that they have aligned to each of the seasons, in this case, third eye. Again, you've got all your information and you've got an exercise to do. Here is your plant medicine. Here is your symbols and your crystal. Sorry, I said symbols there, didn't I? I meant your animals. Each has obviously the animal medicine. Then you had your crystal, and now you have your seasonal symbols. In this case, phoenix, the descent with the beautiful bats. Look at that imagery. I mean, do you not just want to journey into that right now? My gosh, I do. I love it. The art in here alone is just stunning, but the content is really, really good too. So we go through, and then you will come to the next section here. And this will be a slightly different inlaid, thicker page. So something to be aware of as you're coming in here. So we're starting out, here it is. You'll have felt these two pages, your first opening page, and there's a page behind it that's slightly smaller cut than the rest of the book. Take note when you're first going through this, just so you don't rip the surprise. So yes, you've got your information as we move into winter solstice, and then you have this beautiful folder here. Look at the illustration. Oh my gosh, I am absolutely in love. And you can put in here your notes, you can put in here your spells. If you've done the rituals and exercises and all that lovely stuff through the section, you can actually keep your notes and keep them with that section of the book to revisit. If you're someone who likes to make notes on the book as you go through, again, you could do that and keep it in here. And as you go through each section, let's find another one. So now we're at the spring equinox, so you can see again it's cut slightly shorter. The first page, and then the second page is again your folder. So full of incredible information, beautiful rituals that you can do, all sorts of ways to enhance your spiritual practice. Learn about different parts of the seasons, working with your chakras. I mean, there's so much in here. I mean, look at that chickweed pesto. I forgot to say, actually, there's recipes in here as well. There's so much, it's even hard for me to process and remember because it's a very full book. Now, as we move to the back, as I mentioned, it's going to continue all the way through. So you've got your autumn equinox here. And there we go. And then when we get to the back here, the back of the book, there's a little card spread here and working with your cards. A little bit to show you where your chakras are and the pages that you've got the information. So that's going to be really helpful if you're new to chakras. Like I said, working with the cards. And then in the back, the cards are in the little envelope, which I have left them exactly as they come so I can show you. Because I know so far I'm glowing. I'm like, the book is everything. I love it. And I do. I genuinely do. But I have a little gripe. It's only a little one. Now, let's go with my rings. I don't want to. I'm going to move that a second because I just don't want the cards to stick. So this is your cards. They always come like this with her books, and then you just pull down the serrated edge to separate out the cards. This is the back of this particular deck, which, I'm sorry, that is just beautiful, is it not? Look, I mean, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you I am in love with this art. Then we have, of course, the cards themselves that you can use. The art is from the book. The words are from the book. So your card is going to correspond to a page in the book. So instead of having sort of like, you know, you normally get, I brought one over, you normally get a little something like this with some kind of deck that gives you the information, or even a paper one. These are fully incorporated into the book content. So that's all you need to read them. If you're an intuitive reader, these are rich, rich images. They're just very, very beautiful. We'll have a look at a few while we're here. But as you can see, they are the images from within the book. Just so, so beautiful. Hopefully the light's not reflecting on them too much. But weirdly enough, we've had 0 sun today. Not that I'm complaining, it's been a bit hot. So this is your cards that you get with, okay? Again, I won't show them all because I know a lot of you like to have some surprises left. And obviously the same with the book. I'm going to put them just to the side so I can put them carefully in a minute. Now, actually, leave that there. I'm going to just bring in this. As I mentioned about the other books come with beautiful decks of cards. And these are them. Okay? So, just to give you an idea what they look like. Now, if I grab myself, let me just break one of these off super carefully. If I grab myself a card, it's a different size. Now, because it's a book set, and the way I work with these cards, I will sometimes separate them like I've done now because I know I was going to do this video, and I will sometimes use them separate. They're very easy to separate because of the backs are all different. So very easy to do. But I like to incorporate them because it's all the energies. You've got all the crystal energies, you've got all the plant energies, you've got all the animal energies. So it makes a really large, excellent deck for any kind of divination work, any kind of ritual work. I would have loved it if these cards had been this size or these cards had been this size, but now I can't incorporate my seasons cards into this deck, which would have been absolutely stunning and just really filled out the decks even more. So that's something that I'm going to admit I'm personally, oh sorry, that doesn't go there. Why am I apologizing to my own deck? Dear Lord. That's something I'm personally disappointed by. If you are just buying this book, or if you keep all these decks separate and you just, that's another separate deck to you, then I'm sure that won't bother you in the slightest. But for me, that was a really big thing with these books, the way that I could use the deck as a cohesive one with so many different energies and so many different elements in. So let's bring back our book to kind of sum up the thoughts. Let's open to something lovely, shall we? What have we got here? The Crossroads. Let's open to that because it's just beautiful. So, who is this book good for? This book is perfect if you are brand new to your spiritual path, or if you have been on your path like me several decades and you're long in the tooth at it. There is going to be some things in here that get you thinking, because this is exercises from someone else's path, it gives you a window into how they do their spiritual practice around the seasons, around the wheel of the year. There's different ways that they might work with the chakras and the animals and the crystals than you currently do. So there's absolutely something here for you if you consider that you're quite an advanced person on your spiritual path. But if you are brand new, you've got all the basics here and so much more to take you further. So this book is really going to travel with you, constantly giving you information. As the seasons change, you can come back to it and you can check out the correct section and just revisit all the time, pulling little bits from it, working with the elements and chakras. You can do all that separately as well and just use it as information rather than seasonal if there's a crystal exercise you like. So there's so much here. The book is stunningly illustrated as always. Beautiful folders to put in your notes, your rituals, all of that. And then you have absolutely stunning cards to top it off that work with the book and support the book and allow you to take the work in the book a step further. So honestly, I just adore this. I would give it a 10 out of 10, no question, if it wasn't for the tiny gripe that could just be me. But I do know there are a lot of other people that have him like put the other 3 decks together. The little gripe that the cards are a different size. I have seen she has brought out a separate Oracle deck now that I'm pretty sure is this size cards. I don't know if they're the same images or not. I've not had time to look into it. But there's kind of like 2 separate sizes, 2 different decks going on. But honestly, that's me being picky, guys, because I truly, truly love this series of books, and the information in here far surpassed what I thought, because I thought, like I said earlier, it would just be another beginner's book, but it is so much more than that. So I hope you have enjoyed this review. If you buy the book, let me know down below what you think. If you already have the book, let me know. Are you happy that the cards are a new, bigger size and you've got a new separate deck? Do you use the decks in combination like I do from the other books? Again, let me know down below. If you have enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, click that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up and say hi down below. All my links for my socials are under the video in the drop down, including my Facebook group. So come over and say hi. But that is it from me, my lovelies. Blessed be.